David Ellis is a name synonymous with racing industry success, not only in New Zealand but also internationally. In the 2020 Queen's Birthday Honours, he was recognised with a CNZM, Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit.
Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mr. David Ellis of Ngaruawahia, for services to the thoroughbred industry.
David, you're a man who's given your life to the racing industry. You've received one of New Zealand's highest royal honours, from Te Akau to Government House. Yours is a remarkable story.
Yes, it's been very humbling to be recognised by the community for what I've been doing in my lifetime. It was very exciting when Karen and I got the letter from the Prime Minister informing us that we were going to be honoured by the Queen, and it was a reflection of all the people that have been in Team Te Akau out here at the farm and at Te Akau Racing in New Zealand and in Singapore, and it's a reflection on the outstanding job that they've done to help me take Te Akau to the level it's at now.
Throughout your life, you've done so much for so many. Your industry resume is just remarkable. From voluntary racing administration to being the 16-time leading buyer consecutively at Cracker. Is it possible for you to share one or two of your career highlights?
Oh, there's been so many, but I guess that what's given me the biggest thrill has been to win premierships in 2 different countries in the same season, and to see the huge success that Mark Walker and Jamie Richards have made of their lives. And it's also given me a thrill, even just yesterday in the Melbourne Cup, when 2 former Te Akau apprentices, Michael D and Dan Stackhouse, both had good rides, and seeing the success that they've had. And then we had former stable jockeys, Michael Walker and James McDonald, riding in the race too. And that is what really drives me, seeing young people develop and go on to make a success of their lives.
Speaking of young people, your Government House citation speaks of your love of developing and mentoring young people. That's a responsibility you take very seriously, isn't it?
Well, I enjoy seeing young people develop, and out at the farm here, we've got people that have worked for me since the day they left school. And you form a great friendship, terrific loyalty, and it makes life fun.
What do you believe is the key to your success?
Probably being able to pick good people that can work with me and that are driven and want to reach the top themselves. And I'm very lucky, as I said, with Jamie running New Zealand and Australia, and it's all a lot of fun. And to seeing what Mark Walker's done in Singapore, these sort of experiences are really hard to beat.
Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mr. David Ellis of Ngaruawahia, for services to the thoroughbred industry. David Ellis is principal of Te Akau Stud and Racing Stables in New Zealand and Singapore. He's purchased and trained horses that have won 35 champion titles. He's been the leading buyer at the New Zealand Bloodstock National Yearling Sale for the past 15 years consecutively. He has been chairman of the Waikato Racing Club since 1983, including 5 years as chairman. He's been chairman and director of the Waikato District Committee, Northern Director on the Board of New Zealand Thoroughbred, and a member of the Board of New Zealand Thoroughbred Marketing. He has financially supported numerous local and national clubs, charities and organisations, and is a significant sponsor of the racing industry. Mr. Ellis is patron of Riding for the Disabled Hamilton Group. Mr. David Ellis, please come forward. Who
have been the major influences in your life and your career?
Well, there's been and a lot of people that have given me a big help. I think that it's pretty obvious that one of the true heroes behind the scenes at Te Akau Racing is my wife Karen. It's quite incredible the skill set that she brings to the business. She's just absolutely incredible at what she does, helping me sell the horses, and I'm just so fortunate to have somebody that is so passionate about the industry. She, of course, has just retired, has been the chairman of the Waikato Racing Club for 7 years, and I'm extraordinarily lucky to have a wife that is just so good at what she does. Joe Walls, the chairman of New Zealand Bloodstock, has been incredible that he's been able to pass on to me what he's done for a lifetime, and he's the best judge of a yearling that I've seen. And I think another milestone was when Sir Peter Vella bought, with his brother Philip, New Zealand Bloodstock, and started giving young people credit so that they could go and buy horses. And the Karaka Million night, for example, was their view that they wanted to have a big night of racing before the sales. And so New Zealand Bloodstock and Sir Peter Vella have been a big help, but there's been a lot of people along the way, and it's probably unfair to single some out.
A platform for significant change has been set in place for the racing industry. How do you view its future?
Oh, very exciting. I think that when you see the elimination of duty, which will give us another $10 or $11 million a year, the introduction of racefields legislation, which should give us another $12 to $15 million a year, and the fact that the TAB have contained their costs. They've taken $15 to $20 million in costs out of running that organisation, and when you add those three things up, you can see that stake increases, which are needed, aren't far away.
It's obvious that you've just got such a huge passion for the racing industry, and you often say you're lucky that your career is doing what you love. What's next for you and for Te Akau?
Well, we want to take Te Akau to the next level now in New Zealand and Australia, and be competitive in all the big races, and we're going to go to Europe and buy 1 or 2 yearlings each year, and initially keep them in England and try and win a Derby or a 2,000 Guineas or an Oaks, and then bring them back and try and be competitive in Caulfield and Melbourne Cups. And we're going to keep buying at Karaka, where all the good horses in Australasia come from.